world! So, as promised, I wanted to do a review of Attack on Titan, the movie! So, yesterday I went to see the movie, and let's talk about it. First of all, for those who haven't watched the anime or read the manga, the plot of the manga, the movie, the anime is basically 100 years ago, these titans appeared and started to eat people. So, whatever was left of humankind just barricaded itself behind these giant walls. And 100 years later, there's like peace, and Titans basically became kind of legend thing until one day a colossal Titan, this giant, massive being, shows up, breaks the wall, and allows all the other Titans to come in and eat everyone. That's our story. Now let's talk about the movie. We have good things and bad things and weird things, and overall, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it wasn't as good as I thought it could be. Yeah. So let's talk about the good things. The good things are good. The acting is good. The actors did a really good job. I love Haruma Miura as Ellen, and I love Satomi Ishihara as Hanji, who was renamed as Hans here. I don't know why. The casting of Kiko Mizuhara as Mikasa was initially, in my opinion, perfect, because appearance-wise, she looks exactly like her. But overall, people really took themselves seriously and tried the best they could. The general tone of the movie is really good. Like, the colors, the styling is really good. Like, the clothes that they wear. The uniform is really worn out. It looks as if it's been passed around and not like made new for the new troops over and over again. So that's really cool. The maneuver gear looks really cool. There's no doubt about it. Like, they've done a good job making things look real. Also, they really tried to flesh out all the characters, which is not an easy thing to do, and they don't succeed fully in it. But you have these scenes where they try to add more information to each and every character, which is something that is really cool and important, I think. But yeah, like, you have all these characters, and it's kind of a Game of Thrones type situation, right? Like, you get attached to all these characters and suddenly you just kill everybody. But in order for you to feel that pain, you have to be connected to them. So they really try. They don't go there fully, and I don't remember most of them, but they really, like, they try to give everyone that shining moment of humanity so that you could mourn them properly later on. The Titans looked cool. Like, you had all these different faces and body shapes, and some were really on the ground and some were walking, and they made noises for some reason. I don't remember in the anime ever hearing the Titans, like, other than their stomping. That was odd. I didn't like that, no. But some of them looked very much like they put a human face on a CGI body, and others looked completely fleshed out Titans. So I don't know why they went halfway. Some of the Titans looked really good. Some of them looked lazy. The Colossal Titan looked cool. They really tried to make it accessible to people who haven't read the manga or watched the anime. What I mean by that is that they really tried to keep the story within the movie's constraints. It doesn't go like, oh, yeah, I know her story because I watched the anime. Like, if they can't flesh out the story in the movie, they change the story. Which is also a bad thing, but for this current purpose, like, if you haven't watched the anime and you haven't watched and read the manga, you can watch the movie and you can understand what's going on and, like, the motivation of certain characters. So I think that's really important. Did they go about it the right way? No. But finally, the last good point. There are many good points, but the last good point I want to point out is the gore. Weirdly enough, I don't remember seeing any blood in the trailer. There was a lot of blood, like a lot of blood, everywhere, on everything. And that was really important. You know, you don't want a PG-13 version of Attack on Titan. It's blood is part of the point. People are getting eaten alive and torn to shreds. So they did not skimp on that, and they went all out. And a lot of it is digital blood, but there's a lot of like gunk and nasty things also. So they did a good job, I think. The gore was good. Let's move on to the bad things. The pacing. This is a problem in the anime too, right? Like, people will remember when they watched the anime as it came out, it was like, if things aren't gonna start moving, we're gonna quit. Because things were not moving, right? So it has a similar problem. The problem is like between each attack, there's like this long pause of nothingness, and it's kind of used to build more characters and like more personalities and relationships, but it's not done really well. It's the same. It's the same problem. You're kind of like, all right, can we see the Titans again? Can we see them fly? You know, that type of thing. So you're waiting for the action, which is a bit of a bummer. Another bad point is the CGI. I really, really wish this movie had a Hollywood budget. I think if they had the budget for it, they could have done a good job. Without it, what we have is cool looking Titans, cool looking set, and they don't connect. The Titans don't cast a shadow for some reason, which is a bit of a problem. And it's just, it looks glued on. It looks fake. They don't connect. And I don't think the actors are used to working with a green screen. Sometimes, like, they're looking, like, they're not looking the wrong way. Like, the Titans here, they're looking here, but they don't connect. You see that they're not looking at anything. And that's it's a shame, because they really did work hard, like the actors. They really tried their best, and I don't think they're used to it yet. Another bad point is the massive changes in character personalities. I am a big advocate in disconnecting the original material and the interpretation, but here we were having some problems. Like, they did really, really odd things. They completely flipped over certain characters. Now, I don't mind so much the changing of background, because, again, it's one movie, well, two movies, but it's a movie versus an ongoing manga and 25 episodes of anime. It's just, you don't have the time to go back and show Mikasa's, past and why she's so devoted to Eren, for example. No. So, fine. In the movie, they are a couple. And I was okay with it for movie purposes, but the changes in her personality, because of that change, that I didn't like. I don't like domesticated Mikasa. I don't like cute girly Mikasa. And I don't like, basically, Eren's reason for joining, the Survey Corps is changed. And his past is changed. Like, for some reason, he's an orphan. I'm not entirely sure why. Like, why can't he have parents? Armin's past and entire personality changed. And Armin is a sweet, cute, innocent boy, and who's really good at strategy. But in the movie, it appears that he's more of a leader type, which is weird. Like, why him? He's also given more screen time with Sasha, like they're pairing them up, which is, it's kind of cute. I don't care about that, but it was just weird. You're seeing this, like, why? He's also the first character you see in the movie, so it's like, I think the director of the movie really liked Armin and also really hated him because he changed him completely. So I don't know, maybe he liked the name. Another problem, which is again connected to the character personalities, is the addition of a love triangle. Stupid, ridiculous love triangle between Eren Mikasa and the discount Levi. I'll get to him in a second. And it's like, really? You're going there? Why? Why is that necessary? No, no, stop, please stop. Type. Yeah, the discount Levi, let's talk about him. He is stupid. I hated his character. I wanted to stab him in the face. Kind of the same feeling I feel towards Levi sometimes, but it's funny. Like, they replaced Levi, basically, if I understood my friends correctly, because Levi's fan base is too strong and too big, and they were terrified of them. So they were like, let's not go there, let's just make a whole new character so that they can't kill us. And the character is kind of, basically, they took Levi's character and spread it to two different characters. They put the leadership in Hanji's character, and they put the strong fighter in this new character. And and the arrogance also, that's in him too. But without the leadership, it's like he's not a good character, because one of the main good points in Levi is his strong leadership skills and his ability to just do what's necessary regardless of anything else. And you don't really have that here. He seems so cocky and so I hated him. Yeah, so that's a bad point, and that's part of the making the movie accessible to everyone. On the one hand, I think, yeah, you need to change the stories so that you don't have to do these 20-minute flashbacks in the middle of the movie. My problem is not so much the changing of the backgrounds as the changing of the personalities themselves. That bothered me. Like, Mikasa can be Eden's girlfriend if you really insist, but she can still be a badass through and through. And she doesn't have to hang laundry in the first scene you see her. It's just, and be all girly and type thing. Another thing that bothered me is the built sets and the real sets they used do not match. So they filmed a lot of the scenes in a place called Hashima Island here in Japan. And it's an abandoned island. It used to be the home of factories or coal mine, I don't remember what. Lots of people used to live there, and then nobody lives there anymore. And so it's completely abandoned, it's completely ruined. It's a great location for Attack on Titan, I agree. The problem is that what they show us in the beginning is this more Western, smaller buildings type world. But Hashima Island is modern buildings. Like, they're completely destroyed, but they're still high-rise buildings. And in the opening scenes, they're like, you don't see any buildings. So it doesn't connect. The world that you see built and the world that you see destroyed are not the same world. So that's a bit of a problem, I would say. There's some odd changes also. They decided to just not make it funny at all, even though there were some cute scenes in the anime, if I remember correctly. Like, Sasha, mainly, of course. And Sasha still has her potato eating ways, and she's very cute, but she's very quiet. Then there's the use of cars, which is weird. Like, it's 100 years, right, since they walled themselves in this place, and they're using cars? Where do they get the fuel from? It's just weird. Just use these tanks and these jeeps, and where are the horses? Were horses expensive to use for production? I don't understand. That was such an odd choice. Like, the the manga, the anime, they built this world, you know, and things happened and things changed, and it's not the civilization that we know anymore. And then the movie tries to bring back some stuff, and it's weird. It would be like them using a cell phone. Like, I don't know. That was weird. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. It's right in the middle. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's watchable. I'm going to watch the second one, but yeah, I just wish they had another $80 million. Just to really, I think that's the most that takes you the most out of it. The fact that it looks like two different screens, kind of like 60s style movies where it's just glued on. It's a shame. But yeah, so that's my review of Attack on Titan. Please comment, subscribe, do anything. Tell me if you agree with me, if you watched it, or just from the trailer, what you thought. Are you looking forward to seeing the movie? And if you have any suggestions as to what movie I should review or more like talk about next, please let me know in the comments. And thanks. Yeah, that's it.